Good morning, everyone. In today's video, we're going to be going over the Sharkify NFT update for September. It has been one crazy month. We have done so many loans 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and then 3 live, 19 loans in 30 days. It has been a very busy month. Plenty of defaults as well, surprisingly. So one default on the Cyber Frogs, one default on a Clay, one default on the Cyber Frog. Okay, so 3 defaults on this account and then another 3 defaults on the other account. But let's just get in onto the main account right now. So once again, we always seem to be ending with the Galactic Gecko, which is pretty cool. So from there, as we can see, just to confirm, Gecko 7294. And then you can see 7294, and then we get a, what's it called? I think it was 178. 178.38. Cool. So we got the numbers. And basically what happened is we started strong. We did 3 Cyberfrog loans. They were doing really well. One of them paid back really early. We did get a default quite quickly. You can see that there was a drop in floor price. If we actually open and go Magic Eden, and then we go to, so Cyber Frogs are very volatile for some weird reason. If we just go back, 3 months even, you can just see that it goes, what's the best way to look at these lines? I mean, that's 3, 6, okay, sure. But we started the month, 1st of September, we were at 5.4, and then it took a little bit of a dip to the low 5s, and then went back up to 5.5, then back down to 5s, and then mid-month, first week, it shot up to 7, and then went back down to 6, and then just all the way back down to 6.1, a little bit of a dip at 5.6, and then this was the art upgrade, shot up to like high 8s, and then since then, we've seen it sit at about 5.5 and 6, and then just go all the way down now to 3.5. So they've been on a journey. But because I knew there was an art upgrade happening, I was very bullish and big on the frogs. So I went in here. We did get a default, but not too bad, because basically you can see so 26 days ago I got it. I listed it at 6.14, then I dropped it to 6.1. And then it sold very quickly for 6.1, so we're happy. And then, so that would have been a pretty good profit at like 0.65 Solana, just on top of my loan, instead of the 0.1, so literally 6 times better than if I had been paid back, and that was already at 180% APY. Went back and did some Degenerate Apes. They like my bread and butter. Did a Galactic Geckos. That's always a very nice chunky 0.56. Did some more Cyber Frogs. Went back in for the Degenerate Apes. Did a Ute. Jumped in on the Clays, and they're currently sitting at 6.38. Obviously, Solana's done very well in the last 2 weeks. Back up at about above 150 in the last week. But yeah, a lot of NFTs basically took a bit of a crash. So this Clay was a bit high. Did get a default. I think I've got them here. Yep. So you can see I was trying to list it and delist it 10 days ago, because obviously if we go back 10 days ago, and I always try to be fair and try and get back. The goal is always to get back the loan amount plus the interest, if not more, because then it just makes me feel better, and it's always just nice to tell you guys that sometimes defaults aren't too bad. So far, every default we've had, except for this top one that I just got, has been profitable. We've had a lot of profitable defaults. But unfortunately, so this one, we defaulted at 7.41. You can see literally 10 days ago, 19th of September. This has been recorded on the 29th of September, 10 days ago. So you can just see we got this 7.65, which was more than the interest amount, which would have been about, I don't know, 0.15. So pretty happy with that, decent profit. Went back in for the Tedzorians, paid back the loan very comfortably. We got really lucky with this degenerate ape. I think it was the 9027, because you can literally see this guy took the loan 8 hours, and then 6 hours later he decided to pay back the loan, and then 3 hours later he went back in for a new loan. But literally we had this thing for 2 hours, and in those 2 hours he paid us 0.15 Solana because of his indecisiveness. But I appreciate you, dude. Thank you for pulling my bags. You can see there was at one point at the end of the month, I was very worried. Everything was underwater because the last week Solana shot up and all the NFTs crashed. I was so worried about this day, but everything turned out okay. The only thing was the Cyberfrog basically blew up. The Gecko paid back, the Utes paid back, and the Degenerate Apes paid back. You can just confirm that. So this Ute paid back, this Degenerate Ape, and then this Gecko. And then currently right now we have, So currently right now we have a very nice Ute with a crown. We have a Sailor Degenerate Ape Academy, and then we've got a white Gecko. So I'm pretty confident that none of these will default. Like this combo of a Degenerate Ape I think is worth well above floor. The white is a very sought after trait, and so is the crown. So we're very comfortable with our active loans, and everything's been paid back. The only thing to talk about is this terrible Cyberfrog. I was too bullish on the art upgrade. The floor price shot up to 8.5, and I was comfortable to do a loan at 6.7. I didn't expect to be essentially to have the rug pulled under me. I'm not calling Cyberfrogs a rug pull. I love them. I love the community. I have done so many loans for them in the last few months. They are probably, them and Degenerate Apes and Geckos are my top 3 collections of all time. But it's obviously not nice to get a default and lose 3 Solana. So at the moment I'm going to hold on to this. But what I'm going to do is, because I never calculate or add the profit from my defaults, because typically, as I said, every other default I've had has been incredibly profitable, but I never add it to the total just because I always find that unfair. I'm not going to add, I'm not going to deduct the 3 Solana from this. I'll just have to figure it out on my own. But it's a good thing for you guys to see. This stuff can happen and does happen, and you've got to be prepared for it. So on the one hand, it sucks, but on the other hand, I like the collection, so I'm going to hold it, if not sell it at a profit one day. So I might just have to hold the bag. But like I said, I was just so relieved because everything was defaulting. I was happy to get this. I was happy to get the Geckos, but they got repaid, so I'm very happy. So once again, Geckos are just a very, very solid loan as well. They're probably the most consistent, and they're the ones that pay back most of the time. Definitely a shout out to them. But let's just quickly take a look. So our profit for this month has been crazy good. We have made 2.5 Solana. We have done like I think 2 Geckos, which was already like 1. So it's been a really good month. Obviously, the only thing that sours the month is the Cyberfrogs, but that's okay because, like I said, all the other defaults that we've had on this account have more than enough paid for it. But I'm not going to add it to the total. So for this month, we're plus 2.53, but the reality is -3 from that one default. But then with the other 2 defaults, that more than makes up the 0.5 needed to get it back to 3. So we still have made profit.